Hi everyone, this video is going to go through how to use the Hovercam Flex 11 software on your staff device with your Hovercam itself. At this point, you have to make sure that the Hovercam cable or cord is plugged into both the back of the Hovercam and into your workstation. So that might be into your docking station or directly into the USB of your laptop. So once you have it plugged in, then you can open the Hovercam Flex 11 software located on your desktop. So it is a green and white icon labeled with Hovercam Flex 11. I'm going to go ahead and double click on this and open it up. Now once this is loading, if you get a weird error message or something is not showing up, what you can always do is you can go through and unplug the cord, close the software, plug the cord back in, and then reopen it to try to get it to work. If you have any other issues, just put in a help desk ticket. So now this time we are focusing on the Hovercam, and I'll just turn this over. I'll put Flex 11. Okay, so in this software, as you can see on my screen, the image underneath your Hovercam, so whatever is directly underneath is what is going to be projecting for those looking at it. And in the last video that you watched, if you haven't watched it already, we talked about the physical buttons over here on the Hovercam itself, how you can turn on the light to make sure the image is visible, how you can turn the dial, all of that good stuff. There we go, autofocus lock. So the same button features that you have over here, some of those same button features are in this software on the screen. So as we notice, this is the software itself. I'm going to maximize it. I'm going to drag that little deer icon out of the way, or the reindeer. And at the bottom, we've got a menu. Okay, if the menu is hiding, that just means we need to click the blue bubble at the bottom with the up arrow to show that menu. And we're going to work with the most basic settings that are similar to the buttons over here on the Hovercam itself. So the first one is view options. So if I click on view options, I have the ability to rotate, mirror, I can do things full screen. We're not going to get into these other three choices shown here, but we do have the ability to rotate, mirror, all that good stuff. The next icon over is the zoom icon, and this is where if I click on the magnifying zoom icon, I can slide it in to zoom in and out quickly. And then if I select focus, the next icon, I've got selective focus. So just turn my paper over here. If I do selective focus, I then get crosshairs, and I can click on one specific part of the document, and then it will focus in more so on that part. Okay? And notice that it will keep refocusing, which can be kind of hard on the eyes. So let's choose a different focus option. If I select AF, which is autofocus, that is also a physical button over here on the Hovercam itself. I'm going to click autofocus. Again, this option will keep zooming in and out, especially if you add other objects or things into the image. So that can be quite obnoxious. So let me remove this. The last focus option is AF-L, which is autofocus and then lock. So theoretically, if I click this option, it is supposed to focus and then lock it. Well, it turns out that it kind of locked in a blurry position. So I'm going to try the physical button over here on the Hovercam and see if that works better. Nah, that still didn't work. So now I'm going to choose the adjustments button. And you'll notice there's a focus option here. And this is where I can manually drag the focus until I like where it is. And then I can press the L, and it will lock that focus in place. So now I've adjusted the focus. You also have other adjustment choices here, like brightness, contrast, saturation, exposure, white balance. You can kind of mess around with those things if you need to. The brightness may come in handy if your light, like the physical light button on the Hovercam, isn't doing you much good. So you may want to adjust the brightness here if your light is not doing a whole lot. You can also reset or save if you like the settings that you see. Okay, so we have talked about view options, zoom, focus, and adjustments. We can also do a side-by-side option. So this is where I could drag a still image on the left side while I work with the live image over here. And you can explore the side-by-side mode if you would like to. The snapshot mode allows you to take a snapshot of whatever is underneath your camera, as you can see there. Okay, so I could take a snapshot. Yeah, when you're working at home, though, just be aware that if you take snapshots, you may have a hard time accessing those files, as most oftentimes they save to your M drive. And at home, we don't have access to our M drive, so just be aware of that. Okay, we do have a recording option here. That means I can record myself working through a math problem or editing literacy or writing excerpt, whatever you want to record. But again, if you record something while you are at home, it may not save. It may not save in a place where you can access it later. You may have to do these types of things on site. Okay, we do have a pause button, so maybe I put something under the camera, and this might be an agenda, and I want to pause it right there, so I can click pause. And now I have my hand underneath the camera, but you can't see it because I have paused the image so that it sticks in place. So if I press pause again, now it is a live image where you can see my hand underneath. All right, so we have gone through most of the options here at the bottom. And again, some of them you'll have to explore on your own. There will be other linked resources for you to dive into some of these things a little bit more. Let's focus on the last one, which is the settings on the right-hand side. If I click on settings, you can see that I have different camera and microphone choices. I have scanning options, recording options, and then miscellaneous options. And notice that this is the folder location in which any of the snapshots or recordings that I take is going to save. So that's important that this is the name of the folder in which your files will be saved. And I'm not sure if you can change those on your own. You may need to work with your building tech integrator or LMS to find out more information about that. I'm going to click cancel for now. So we've talked about this menu at the bottom. Let's minimize that. And we're going to minimize that. Let's talk about the floating deer over here on the right-hand side. This floating deer is just extra tools. So if I click on the deer one time, you'll notice I have an undo, a redo, I've got a selection tool, a text box, I've got a writing tool, and an eraser tool. And this one looks like color or shape choices here. But because some staff members have touch devices with a stylus, you may find that this writing option is helpful. So maybe I want to emphasize specific things or demonstrate spelling errors, and then I can click on the eraser tool. So this would be a great reason to try out your stylus if you need to. You also have the text box option. So that is the floating deer over here. All right, I hope that this got you started on your Hovercam Flex 11 software. If you have any further questions or you need help with something, don't hesitate to look at the linked resources for learning about Hovercams on ClassLink Launchpad, and you can also reach out to your building tech integrator and library media specialist. Thanks for watching.